Good afternoon, students. Today we continue reading and learning from the lesson chapter 3, The Final Victory by Khaled Hosseini. We had completed the learning from page 121, and today we proceed to the final part of the lesson on page 122. We had learned in the previous lesson, that is video in part 5, that Amir had taken part in the winter tournament of the kite flying competition and Hassan was assisting him, and Amir had managed to keep his kite flying till just one opponent remained, a blue kite. So his kite and a blue kite was there in the air. The people who were watching the game were excited, and that included Amir's father, and everyone seemed to be thrilled. The excitement filled the air. And what happened next from page 122? So we are going to learn from there. People were stamping their feet, clapping, whistling, chanting, Boboresh, Boboresh. So all the people, they were clapping. They showed their excitement by clapping, whistling, chanting, calling out Boboresh. Now that in Turkish means cut him, cut him. So cut him, cut him. I wondered if Baba's voice was one of them. Now, this made Amir wonder whether one of the voices that he heard was Baba's or not. Music blasted. So, there was this loud music also. The smell of steamed mantu and fried pakora drifted from rooftops and open doors. So, the ladies in the house, they were passing on steamed, that is cooked mantu. Mantu is a kind of a dish that is made up of meat and other rice and other things stuffed in, and fried pakoras that we have in North India also. I'll show you the pictures, but before that, that was the smell was floating, drifted, floating from rooftops and open doors. So let's see what mantu and fried pakoras are. So it says here you can see the savory. These are the savory pakoras, just like we have with the chutney here. We have in North India the pakoras, and here you can see the Afghan mantu dumplings, which is actually made up of meat and rice or something stuffed in. So that's it. And then he says here, we have the page, but all I willed myself to hear was the thudding of blood in my head. So Amir says that all he wished to hear was only the thudding of, the striking of, or the coming of blood in his head. So this is that gave him tension, that gave him the mood, the concentration to just look at his kite and go on concentrating and fighting. All I saw was the blue kite, and he could only see the blue kite. All I smelled was victory. So he says all he smelled. So until then, Amir had never won until that very moment. And now he felt that he was going to have victory. So now today he is going to be victorious. So he felt he was never really considered to be worth. So his father also probably never gave him much attention. But now he felt that he is going to be victorious, and people will now really look at him and admire him. But now he has got this golden opportunity, so to prove himself. And that is a once in a lifetime opportunity to prove to his father that he was also capable of doing good things, and this moment was precious, so he should concentrate. And salvation, redemption, now these are two heavy words. Amir believed that if he wins, he would get salvation and redemption both. Now these two heavy words in the lesson, and what do they mean? Now, salvation is a bigger word. A victory in a kite flying competition, will it give a person salvation, or will it be the reason for a person to get salvation? So, what is salvation? Salvation means atonement of bygone sins. So the sin you have committed once in your life. So these sins. Now, as we sometimes, think that in order to get salvation, Buddha went to do meditation, isn't it? The same way, what has he to do? He has to win in this kite fighting victory. And once he becomes victorious, he feels that he is going to be salvated. That is, he'll atone for all the sins he has committed. Now, here we have a question, or you must be wondering, what kind of sin did he do? Now, we don't have the answer in this book, in this extract, in fact. So, the extract that is given to us is from the larger or the original book, The Kite Runner by Khaled Hosseini, and we just have the abridged extract given as our lesson, where we won't find the answer to this. So, salvation, why should he be seeking salvation? The answer to this is actually in the story, and I'll just tell you a little. Once in such a game, Hassan was assisting Amir, and as usual, Hassan ran after a kite that was coming down. That is, it was sliced down, and it was a prize. That he has to get. So he started running. So he became the kite runner. He was running to get the kite. Meanwhile, some bully boys, the bullies they came in and started to obstruct his getting the kite. Now, while doing it, they assaulted him. They gave him some injuries. They beat him up. And Amir, who was running behind him, saw this incident happening right in front of him, but he didn't try to save Hassan. And this incident kept haunting his mind, and there was this feeling of guilt in his mind. So the feeling of guilt in his mind weighed heavy on him, and then what happened? He had this feeling that he has done something wrong against Hassan, and therefore he need to seek salvation. So probably this victory is going to give him a kind of salvation, atonement for his sins, and redemption, complete clean chit from his sins, that is redemption. So it says here these two things. So Amir believed that he is going to get these two, both for him and for his father Baba. Now, what is the reason that Baba has to get salvation and redemption? So in the story, there is this thing that his father had not been fair to Ali, Hassan's father, who was a friend, but he treated him as a servant, and then he betrayed him also. So Hassan was his half brother, and Amir never treated him fairly, not even like a friend. So this was a chance for atonement of both Amir and his father for the bygone sins that they had committed. So his guilty feeling, the conscience, makes him realize this moment as a chance to salvation, meaning deliverance of the soul and from the sin and its consequences. So, and redemption, meaning saving or being saved from sin. So in exchange of this kite flying, so what he has to do in order to get salvation and redemption, he has to come out victorious in the kite fighting. So if Baba was wrong, see, in this line you will come to understand, because the link is not there in the extract, so probably you will have this confusion, but that, as I have told you the story, so you can understand. I have told you in a nutshell because it's a bigger story in the original novel, but right now I can't tell you because this has got no other connection over here. If Baba was wrong and there was a God like they said in school, then he'd let me win. So yeah, Amir thinks that even Baba was wrong. If he was wrong, then there is a God, as they all spoke in school about God being there, and then he'd let me win. So that God will allow him to win. So if he wins, he is going to be redeemed. He is going to get salvation. I didn't know what the other guy was playing for. Now Amir says that he doesn't know, or he didn't know what the other guy was playing for. What was his motive for playing, or what was his the the drive behind him to play this game and to last for such long? Maybe just bragging rights. Now look here, children, this bragging rights is an idiom here. So maybe just bragging rights. So this is an English idiom, bragging rights. So what does bragging rights mean? Rights to boast about for a full year. You know why for a full year? Because 1 year, the next tournament, kite fighting tournament, will happen only in winter, next winter. So that means one full year would be there. So one who wins will be able to will get the entitlement to boast about his achievements for the rest of the year. But this was my one chance to become someone who was looked at, not seen, listened to, not heard. Now, underline this line. It's very, very important. But this was my one chance to become someone. Amir felt this was his only chance, a golden opportunity to him, not to be missed out. Once in a lifetime, achievement to become someone. Once in a lifetime opportunity to become someone who was looked at, who would be looked at, and not only seen. So listened to and not only heard. One who was really one who was worthy, one who was important. So now he's got a chance to become someone important. And suddenly, just like that, hope became knowledge. So he says, just like suddenly hope, what he was hoping for, now that has become knowledge. So he says that has become knowledge here. What he was hoping for, it has become his knowledge. I was going to win. Now he is going to, it has become a fact that he is going to win. It was just a matter of when. So when would this happen? That he didn't know. But it would happen very soon. So let's see. You can see Amir and Hassan happily going on with a kite in their hands. And of course, we talked about the savory. And now we move on to the next paragraph. It turned out to be sooner. So when was this to happen? When was he going to be victorious? Very soon, not later. So a gust of wind lifted my kite to my advantage. So what happened? A gust of wind was there, a rush of wind, a wave of wind, or a current of wind that lifted his kite up to his advantage. So it helped him, his kite, to go on flying, fed the string and pulled up. So what did Amir do? He fed the string. That means he loosened the string, gave it a little, allowed it to fly a little higher, and then pulled up. Then suddenly he jerked it towards himself, looped my kite on top of the blue one. So what did he do? He looped it. He gave a big loop, a turn, a twist to the kite by pulling the string, and it came on top of the blue one. I held position. Now let's see how that happens. Can you see it in the picture? So what did he do? He made a loop. You can see the loop. He made a curl, a curve, a loop. And then what he did, he came on top of the blue kite. You can see the blue kite over here. So, and Amir's kite, the red kite, and the blue kite. So he went on top of the blue kite, and you can see the intersection over here. So the intersection is important because this is the part that they have to becomes abrasive, and then the cut slash is given where it has to get its cut. So let's see what's written. I held position. The blue kite knew it was in trouble. So the opponent of the person who was holding the blue kite was now, he knew that the blue kite, his kite was in trouble. So it was trying desperately to maneuver out of the jam, but I didn't let go. So the opponent tried desperately, very, do or die situation. So he tried to maneuver, means come out of, skillfully try it out, to come out of the jam, to come out of the trap that they had made with the red kite. But I didn't let go. I held position. The crowd sensed the end was at hand, and the whole crowd was watching. Lots of people were watching from their rooftops and the street, and they all shouted, cut him, grew louder. Boresh, Boboresh, Boboresh, they shouted. You're almost there, Amir Agha, almost there. Hassan was panting. So Hassan was so happy to see that Amir is already, he's gone over the blue kite and is about to give a gash to the cut to the that blue kite. So he was very excited and happy and was panting. Panting is breathing with heavy breath, no? So not because of exertion, but it was because of his getting excited. So he's panting, and you can see the way he's going upward, and the bottom kite is there. So pulling the string fast, and when he pulls the string, what happened? It'll give a cut to the intersection between the point, the two kites, where the two kites meet. So this is the way they give that. And you see here, Hassan is very excited and is calling out to give the Boboresh, Boboresh. So the blue kite you can see in the air, and it's coming down, it seems. So it's they gave a cut, and here's it's going down. Then the moment came. I closed my eyes and loosened my grip on the string. It sliced my fingers again. So as he loosened the grip on the string, it sliced my fingers. It gave a gash, it gave a cut on his fingers once again as the wind dragged it, because the wind was pulling it further, and he was getting holding the sharp edges of the thread. It was giving him cuts. And then I didn't need to hear the crowd's roar to know. I didn't need to see either. So what did he do? He closed his eyes. It says here, I closed my eyes. And he didn't need to know what was happening, because he could sense it. I didn't need to see either. Neither to hear nor to see. Hassan was screaming, because he heard Hassan screaming, and his arm was wrapped around my neck. Bravo, bravo, Amir Agha. So Hassan was so excited that he wrapped his hands around Amir and was thrilled and was calling out bravo. That means, and you can see the crowd came and lifted Amir up on their shoulders, and they all shouted in a chant, bravo, well done, well done. So here, children, we have come to the end of the story on page 122, and the beautiful story of kite flying has come to an end, and hope you can someday read the original novel. Thank you.